Vamos a jugar una misión. Así, chingue su madre. Creo que sí se escucha lo que digo. Ah, qué bonito se ve este juego. Campaign. Continue.
As of 1 p.m. today, the Kingdom of Erusia
Erusia.
has declared war on the Osean Federation. As soon as the news broke out, enemy aircraft began bombing Osean territory, causing widespread destruction. The Air
Damn.
Defense Force has released a statement saying this violent attack was carried out by drones. They speculate the drones were secretly transported to Osea in shipping containers and launched remotely. The Secretary of the Navy has stated that the enemy was targeting naval ports across the country. According to the Secretary, all of the nation's aircraft carriers, including one still under construction, sustained severe damage in the attacks. We have yet to hear back from the department as to the fate of Osean carriers currently at sea. Hold on, I've just received breaking news. The International Space Elevator, which is being built in southern Eurasia, has been seized by the Erusian army. Reports say former President Harling was touring the site at the time, but his current whereabouts are unknown. Our sources in government tell us it was Harling's policies regarding the space elevator that caused economic frictions in the area, and which ultimately led to this war. Located near Erusia, on the continent of Eurasia, the space
Erusia.
elevator has been under construction for some time now. The Executive Office of the Osean Federation has declared a
Right
national
here.
state of
Que esa
emergency.
mamada.
They have ordered all its armed forces, including Yusian peacekeepers, to mobilize and make the necessary
Peacekeepers.
preparations to launch an immediate counterattack. Ladies and gentlemen, our country is officially at war. Stay tuned for further updates.
Breaking news from ENN.
INN.
Osea launched an attack on the capital today, striking Farbanti from their aircraft carrier, the Kestrel II.
Pedo.
After a brutal battle, the Erusian Air Force successfully repelled them. During the air raid, the Osean Air Force fired missiles at the city and managed to shoot down a number of Erusian fighters. Some of the disabled planes then crashed into residential areas.
¿Y ahora qué sigue?
The world was screwed. 20
No more
years ago, the Earth got slammed by an asteroid. Yuja was on the wrong side of the planet and got hit. Hard. Refugees swarmed the Erusian Republic, the biggest country on the continent, plunging it into chaos. They were desperate and started a war, one they had no hope of winning. That's the war my dad fought and died in. The biggest nations from two continents went head-to-head, and the so-called righteous Oseans struck the deal hand. They fancied themselves the only nation that could bring peace and stability to the world. They even tried saving the Yusians, still suffering from the disaster. That's how a space elevator, stretching way up into the sky, ended up being built in Yuja, paid for by the Oseans. President Harling said he did it out of compassion for his fellow humans. But to the folks in Erusia, it looked like Osea was moving in to take over. Erusia went from being a republic back to being a kingdom. When they started this new war, they managed to get the drop on everyone. The second the declaration hit the news, Erusian forces took control of the space elevator without spilling a single drop of blood. President Harling was touring the elevator when it happened and disappeared. Then, while that was going on, the Erusian ships that were docked all around Osea released a swarm of drone fighters they had hidden on board in containers. No one thought they were capable of doing what they did that day. With pinpoint accuracy, they managed to take out everything that was military, and not a single civilian was hurt in the process. Osea pissed lots of people off with their huge military presence around the world.
Damn.
Erusia didn't have the same reach, but they could hit their targets faster and cleaner. And when all this was going down, I just so happened to be in my flying drag racer. In case you were wondering, yeah, I survived. I crashed in a bombed-out Osean Air Force base, then got arrested for breaking wartime aviation laws or some crap. The world went from being at peace to being at war, all in the blink of an eye. I was
¿Qué está
tried,
pasando?
found guilty, and stuffed into a cargo ship. For company, I had some court-martialed soldiers. And remember those mothballed planes I told you about before? They were loaded on the ship too. We headed off down south for several days, and then swung east. That's how I got here. I was thousands of kilometers from Aruja, on the opposite side of the Yuzian continent. For a port, it was dull as hell. It had 3 rusty patrol boats, and the base? The fences were topped with razor wire, the tower had a searchlight and machine guns, and a truck with a gun turret was parked in front of the gate. Its gun was aimed at the yard. This was a prison. This place looked like a full-on base, but half the tanker trucks were just big balloons, and the runways weren't even paved, just painted on the dirt. The whole place was just one big fat lie. The only reason I was here is because they knew I'd restored a supersonic plane. They wanted me to make something out of the mothballed planes they brought, that they could park on the fake runway. Can you believe that shit? So, I tried to escape. They found out, and set the dogs on me.
Mission 2. Charge the enemy. No mames, cuánto pinche prólogo, cabrón. Ok. Briefing.
Erusia
IUN.
has made a declaration to the Ocean Federation and all countries on the Yuzian continent stationing the IUN peacekeeping force that we are now at war. Right after the declaration was made, surprise attacks began around the continent that have inflicted major damage to our armed forces. Forces aligned with Erusia are currently appearing throughout Yusia. A combination of these forces has overwhelmed the majority of the continent, and they are now encroaching on us in the east. Additionally, the multinational space elevator has been seized by the Erusian military. After the previous war, the space elevator became both a symbol of peace and a valuable asset in the fight against growing energy concerns. Whoever has control of it will have enormous influence over the entire continent. We cannot turn a blind eye to this critical situation. The Fort Gray's Air Base Squadron has been entered into the order of battle to reclaim the elevator as an advance element. First, you will attack all hostiles coming in the east of Schofield Plateau to stop any interference with the Allied ground troops. The enemy has deployed several vehicles equipped with anti-air radar along the roads. You are to destroy them. They should not pose much of a threat. However, there is a high likelihood that the attack will draw more enemy air support.
Damn.
If that happens, fight them off swiftly and establish air superiority.
Su perra madre. Target. Viper. Puedes obtener aviones, armas y piezas en el árbol de avión para tener la ventaja de las misiones. Ay, a ver. Los puntos recibidos dependen del rendimiento de las misiones y las partidas. Se pueden intercambiar por aviones nuevos, armamento especial y piezas de mejora en el árbol de avión. Se consiguen en el modo campaña cada misión completada y en el modo multijugador por cada partida disputada. Cuanto mejor sea tu rendimiento, dependerá del tiempo de finalización, el número de bajas, etc. Más puntos obtendrás. Usa los PRM, supongo que esos son, en el árbol de avión para conseguir aviones potentes, armamento y piezas de mejora que aumenten tus posibilidades de vencer en el aire. Su puta madre. Los objetos del árbol de avión están conectados mediante líneas. Si quieres desbloquear uno, normalmente debes desbloquear el objetivo anterior en su línea. Sin embargo, antes de poder acceder a algunos objetos, tienes que cumplir ciertos requisitos. Cuando adquieres un avión nuevo, se te otorga un arma especial de manera automática. Pero las restantes, dos restantes, debes comprarlas con PRM. Elige bien cómo gastar tu PRM, no podrás devolver ni deshacerte de los aviones, el armamento o las piezas de mejora una vez obtenidos, así que no podrás recuperar puntos gastados. Tipos de avión y armamento especial. Algunos aviones y ciertos armamentos especiales son más adecuados para el combate antiaéreo, mientras que otros están diseñados para el combate antiterrestre. Es fundamental dirigir la configuración apropiada para que la misión sea un éxito. Tipos de avión. Caza. Presume de una excelente maniobrabilidad, es ideal para el combate aire-aire. Polivalente. Se adapta bien a diferentes situaciones de combate, no se destaca en ningún área en particular. Atacante. Aeronave robusta que sobresale en el combate antiterrestre. Tipos de armamento especial. Aire-aire para derribar aviones, aire-tierra para derribar objetivos terrestres. Otros poseen características que no pertenecen a ninguna de las categorías anteriores. Parámetros. Velocidad, la velocidad de vuelo del avión. Movilidad, la maniobrabilidad de una aeronave. Estabilidad, la fiabilidad del avión. Aire-aire, la destreza del avión en el combate antiaéreo. Aire-tierra, la destreza del avión en el combate antiterrestre. Defensa, la durabilidad de la aeronave. Vientos. A ver, estos son los atributos. Speed, mobility, stability, air to air, air to ground, and defense. Costo. Los aviones, el armamento especial y las piezas de mejora tienen distintos costos que solo influyen en el modo multijugador. Algunas salas de modo multijugador cuentan con restricciones y solo permiten el acceso a tu avión y a un costo menor al fijado. No mames, esos son los aviones que puedo adquirir. Un caza ligero, ese es el que tenía. Y aquí viene. Tengo 53. Puta madre. Cuesta 70, este cuesta, no mames, cuesta un verguero. Este cuesta 65. Mirage. Ay, qué mamando. El F-18. El A-10, güey. No mames. El Tomcat, aquí sí Tomcat, ¿no? Sí, aquí está el F-14. Está 70. No lo puedo comprar. Bombas dirigidas hacia el objeto fijado, estas diseñadas para explotar tras perforar el blindaje enemigo. Son potencialmente devastadoras. Misiles explosivos aire-aire, si el enemigo los esquiva, explotan, aunque no lo... Este ya lo tengo, ¿no? Sí. A ver, vamos a comprar. Y vamos a comprar estos. Solo para probar, ¿eh? No me deja usarlo, no tengo que usar el mismo de hace rato. Dice, para este, ¿qué pedo? Es aire tierra. Y este es aire. Ah, es que no se puede escoger una. Seleccionar piezas.
Squadron sorting ASAP.
A ver si no la cago, güey.
Current target is on rails. There's still military vehicles and anti-air weaponry. Destroy the target. But HQ has made it clear that no harm should come to civilians and no damage is to be done to public facilities.
But, any aircraft shot down could land in civilian territory.
No point arguing. That's how war is these days. Do you have visual on the anti-air radar vehicles? They should be close. Yep. Mage 2, walking. Target destroyed. Intercept! Fire the AA! Complete our vehicle out of there! Shit, where are the damn interceptors? It's popping off now, Trigger. The war has officially begun. Target destroyed. 5 to go. Get the fighters out there! Protect the radar vehicle! They've got their anti-air guns aimed right at us. Target destroyed. Request permission to move the vehicle! We can't wait any longer. We need interceptors now! Target destroyed. 3 to go. Continue to engage at your discretion. Enemy interceptors inbound. Prepare to engage in 30 seconds. We'll come. Here they come. Take them down.
Aviéntate, cabrón. Ay, mira. Ah. Ya, chingada madre.
Mates 2, break that lock.
Targeting range of guns. Keep your mind focused. Enemy transport destroyed. There's more. Fox 2. Got him in my sights.
Golem 1, enemy will crash in a residential area.
Just worry about staying alive for now. Missile evaded.
Ah, la vida.
Five targets remaining. All transports have been destroyed, but what were they carrying? Four targets remaining. H2, walking. Golem 3, Fox 2.
All aircraft, residential area is active.
You've got a hostile behind you. Right, so you want us to take down the enemy without damaging any public facilities? That's gonna be a circus. 3 targets remaining. Firing air gun! Now! Launch preparations are complete. Whenever you're ready. Stand clear 15 meters. UAV is ready to launch. Away! What happened? Status report. Multiple bogies on radar. They're close. Wait, they're being launched. You're clear to engage. They're probably hostile. Judging by the way they look and move, they gotta be drones.
Ooh.
Well spotted, clown. No doubt about it, we're dealing with UAVs. But that doesn't change a thing. Just think of them as somewhat clever decoys. Take them all down. These drones have great agility. All aircraft. You know what high G terms are, right? Use them. HQ, this is Golem 1. Bandits confirmed as UAVs.
pinche madre.
Collins Quadrant, you're not gonna let Mage get all the glory, are you?
3 enemies to go.
I've got him in my sights. Don't ice up in there.
Shh.
Column 2, the enemy's reading me. The enemy knows a few moves, but that's about it. Just chase him down and pull the trigger. Mage 2, you've iced up. I'm buying dinner for anyone who takes down an enemy.
That's about it. I'll try.
You're doing good. Just 2 more. So, drones don't do what you force, huh? 1 to go. Let's get through this without any casualties. Mage 2, missile launch.
Chingao.
Entering clouds. Clouds are screwing up the accuracy. Don't ice up in there. My wings are iced up.
Hijo de perra.
Nice kill, Trigger. Enemy aircraft confirmed down.
The skies are clear. Nice work, everyone. Mission complete. RTP. No casualties. Couldn't have done any better. Returning to base.
I don't know. Maybe the bandits we took down caused civilian casualties.
No point arguing. That's how war is these days. You shoot, someone gets killed. The guys in charge take care of the rest. Current target is on rails, but there's still military vehicles and anti-air weaponry.
A huevo.
You've given us air superiority by destroying their radar. The first barrier keeping us from retaking the space elevator is gone. Now is the time to group up and begin the counteroffensive. Let us reclaim what is ours.
Aquí le das a abandonar y solo le das en continuar. Two. Ah, va. Ok. Bueno, esto ya no lo voy a jugar. Nos vemos en la próxima. Tengo que grabarlo.